Greetings and salutations, fans and family, friends and neighbors, lovers and losers of all kinds. This is just an observation, and I am your host, Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom. So sit back, enjoy, and let's have some fun, shall we? Today is a very strange topic. Today I want to focus on myself and my earning my nerd card. Now, I have been a Star Trek fan for a lot of years. I loved TNG. Especially loved Deep Space Nine. That was my favorite episode. I watched Voyager, and I loved Enterprise. Star Trek fan all the way. And of course, I've always seen the TOS repeatedly, even though I'm old enough or not old enough to have seen it in first run. But Star Trek was always a fun outlet for me. And then online, I met the future Mrs. Doom. And she was a Star Wars fan and a very adamant, very dedicated Star Wars fan. If I were to figure out how to display it, I would show you all the Star Wars stuff that she owns. I can't do that. And we got along famously. So later on down the road, when we got married and then ended up buying the house that now exists with the Doomful Productions World Headquarters, we decided to do a little decorating, and that's what I want to show off today, among other things. But before I get to the Star Trek and Star Wars stuff, even though there is a R2-D2 in the picture, this is inside the living room, behind the couch, in the living room upstairs. And it is dedicated to, obviously, the Ghostbusters. It is one of my favorite movies, and this display, including the Lego version of the Ghostbusters pictures, and everything you see here, were just absolutely, I think this was well done. And this is a talking point when people come into the house. All the little shelves are made by me to display these characters that she had found along the way, and I just love the way this looks. When we get into the Star Trek and Star Wars, this is the actual decorations on the walls of the kitchen and dining room at the Doomful Productions World Headquarters. We start with the picture that my mother-in-law gave me for Christmas, my micro machines, and my little Spock and Kirk, and even the USS Dreadnought from one of the Star Trek movies by J.J. Abrams. What's not shown in this picture are my communications badges that I normally have up there, the DS9 Voyager variety of those badges, which are magnetic and I can put on a shirt or a jacket or whatever, and I absolutely love those. This is a close-up view of my micro machines. I built a shelf. My friend at work gave me the micro machines. As you can see, I have a collection of them, quite the collection. I think I have them all, but I'm not quite sure. And it's just hanging on the wall and showing off that, yes, I am a true Star Trek fan. Hanging from the ceiling in the dining room is a board with the Christmas lights on it, but they also have the Hallmark Star Trek ornaments hanging from them, at least the ships. The first one you see is Voyager, and then the Defiant, the Enterprise C, and then the Enterprise D. This is something that I can turn on. We got it plugged in, but also check out the curtains. The curtains were made by Mrs. Doom, and yes, they're alternating Star Wars and Star Trek. Rounding out the Hallmark ornament collection are the Romulan Warbird and the Klingon Bird of Prey. You can see my little Star Trek Drive street sign hanging there, and in addition are the curtains, an even closer up view of the curtains, which are I just absolutely love hanging there. Once we get past the patio door, we start the Star Wars stuff. And I'll start with a little couple of things: the Millennium Falcon and the Star Wars comic cover that is printed onto a wood sign that is very, very cool. And the end of the wall in the dining room, we have a lighted Death Star model, another comic book cover on wood, and a Return of the Jedi poster that is framed. And these are just the greatest things. And this is how the house is decorated. Now, while I did have some say in this, and I did some of the building and hanging of things, most of this decorations, the ideas were all Mrs. Doom's. And we agreed to this. This is the way we want our house to look. And I think it just shows that what what true fans could actually do if they really wanted to just show off their fandom. Now we own every Star Trek movie, every Star Wars movie, almost every Star Wars video there is. We absolutely love these two things, and we're willing to display them on our walls, in our dining room, in our living room, in our kitchen, for the whole world to see. And I wanted to share them with you. Thank you for coming to visit me at Just an Observation. I hope you come back. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, always live life as if awesome is a downgrade.